Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm working on the Deadbolt. I actually have three of these. One's my 4-year-old daughter, and one's my 7-year-old son. So we kind of just, wanted them. I got them when they were on sale for like $50 last year on eBay, and I kind of just wanted to, a couple of them that were the same, and we can kind of toot around, and I wouldn't go crazy with this, and I kind of haven't gone ridiculously crazy, but I kind of have. I put brushless in it and this and that. I got links in it. Most of them have got some of the same stuff. They have steering in theirs. And anyways, getting off subject. I wanted to take the brushless out of this and put it into something else. So I was just going to swap in whatever I had laying around. And I totally forgot that I had this GOUP RC. It's like a 30 amp little mini ESC to 050 motor. It goes right into the stock transmission. And I figured, why don't we try that out and see how it is. I bought this when it was on sale. I think it was like 18 or 19 bucks. Right now it looks like they're on 24 for the pink one. Well, that's a shine. And I think it's like 26 for the black one. I got the pink one because there was one on sale at the time, and I don't care because it goes under the truck. So I was tinkering around with this while I did this, and I put on some, I had these on it for a little bit, but they were just way too big. I also put on some 39 millimeter Endura oil-filled shocks when I had the 40 millimeter big bores, which are like 5 millimeters taller, I think. It's ridiculous. I don't know the sizes. It's weird. Anyways, I wanted to put these on, lower it down a little bit. Right now, this is a monster truck because the electronics are pretty much out of it. It's pretty gutted. So this keeps on just going up. Put on these wheels. Whoa. Put on these wheels that I originally had bought for my FCX 24M, but they kind of stick out too far on it. I didn't really like it. They're brass rings inside. They're from Fedco, I think. Yeah, Fedco. And I put on some J-Concepts tusks that I debonded for some wheels. These are 52 millimeters. Just kind of going small tire on this. My son's actually has monster truck tires on, and my daughter's has like some like knockoff Swampers. So this has like the smallest tires of it, but I'm just trying to keep this nothing crazy. Anyways, I just wanted to, kind of throw this in and see if it's any good. I bought it because it was cheap, and I was gonna just have it for like a roller or something. I figured I'll just throw this in here. The other kids' ones are still, they're not stock. Hold on. Okay, my son still has the stock motor somehow with these monster truck tires. All I do is take the stock shocks, put them on the frame, and it's been pretty good for him. Glued them back into the ESC, which I thought was going to interfere with it, but it has not interfered with it. So far, I've been good. They do have the servos swapped out in the links, steering link. But somehow the stock motor is still going strong on that. Very surprised. I think this one, the motor had died, and I actually put in a purple, just the Endura purple. I think they call it the 050. And put in a servo also and steering link that I had laying around. This one has like a little bit of front link too that I had extra of. I think his just has some leftover. I think when I did some C-bolt stuff, I just threw the fronts in. But yeah, so anyways, off subject again. Was taking down the transmission, was looking for a motor, an ESC, and saw this. So I wanted to take you guys on the ride with me, see how this is. I had a GOUP RC brushless in the same box, and it was like a little 1621. It's a little bit smaller than the Purple Viper, and I wasn't really a huge fan of that one. I actually don't even know what I did with it. I maybe returned it because it was so bad. But this being just that's a pretty heavy 050 motor. This being just a brush motor and nothing crazy, I'm hoping it's going to be fine in this. I don't see how it could be too bad. Got to be better than the stock ones that are in there, those little itty bitty 05 motors. So yeah, let me bolt this up. See where I'm going to put everything, because there's not a lot of room in there. I still have the battery tray. I'm going to use that to hopefully hold that. Should be enough room because I have the battery here. So let me bolt this up, and I'll be right back. One thing you want to be careful of when you swap these motors on. First of all, it's nice they do have a little bit of play here, so you can get the mesh right. But when you go to take this spur off, and when you go to tighten it back, because you have to get to that nut there. When you go to install the spur, make sure you only tighten this so it's snug against it. You want this to be free to be able to move, no problem. Because a lot of people will tighten that up and like jam it down, and it'll actually tighten up everything, like the whole setup here, and it'll be dragging, and you'll end up burning your motor out. I've seen a bunch of posts on that. So just, I think a lot of people know that anyways, but just to mention it. Okay, so it's in there temporarily. I haven't even really cleaned up all the wires all the way. And this has 2 modes. If it's a blue LED right there, it's, what do they call it? Climbing mode with its own drag brake. If you tap it, it goes red. It's now flat speed mode for off-road drift cars. So pretty much it means that this does not have drag brake as you watch the tires. See how it slowly went to the stop? If you tap it one more time, it actually has a drag brake. So that's kind of cool. You can use it for a couple different things. One of the reasons I think it also might be temporary, I'm not sure, it's kind of noisy. Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm going to the camera. The mic's over here. I mean, the transmission is normal, but it's got a pretty good whine to the motor. I don't know. Maybe I'll play with it a bit and see if it goes away. Really need to clean these wires up. It barely fits because this deadbolt's so flat. But it seems to be not bad. I got a click somewhere. I'm not sure what that is yet. I mean, it's definitely no brushless, but not horrible. Oof. Ooh, it takes a good amount of... Not smooth at all. Okay. Well, that's already not cool. Okay, so let's see if I can... I'm just going to not steer, but you can watch my finger. I'll go here. Didn't move. Moving, moving. Moving, moving. Kind of just goes. Yeah, definitely not a crawling setup at all. I'd say more of a trailing one, if anything, or put in that other mode and go drifting with it, apparently. Doesn't seem too bad here, though. It kind of sucks. It sucks that it does this. I was expecting a little bit more, but that's what I get for expecting something from a $24 setup. Yeah, I don't think I really need to go out on the rocks to show you that. But you know what? Footage is footage, right? So I'll do a couple little lines and we'll be back. All right, let's go check this guy out. Ah, crap. Okay, enough messing around. And we're back from testing. Not the ideal conditions, as you saw. Didn't really get a lot of testing done, but I would say trail-wise, this seems pretty good. If I didn't have to go up against anything that was like solid, kind of like when I had the tire there and he was trying to get up on top of that little like 90-degree ledge, it wasn't that bad actually. And it feels like it did kind of like smooth itself out a little. Like, I could actually slow crawl it pretty good. Well, if I get it right. You know, it's not horrible. To me, it would be worth putting in a trail truck. Like, say your kid's STX24 died, you know, the motor died and the ESC died, or one or the other, and you got to buy something. Because I mean, for like, if it goes on sale for like $20, it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not as good as the MB100 with the Purple Viper. That's kind of like my go-to for like a brush setup. If I want to go usually economy, I would definitely pick that over this. But for if you can get this for sub 20, I'd say it's not that bad, honestly. The ESC is smaller than an MB100. You can see right there. So, I mean, not a ton smaller. Well, actually, good, like, probably 8 or 10 millimeters. Same width, though. So, but, you know, if you have a smaller area, maybe, you know, if you want to do like a drift thing, apparently, you got the button, you can click it and go into the other mode. Honestly, not that bad. And I didn't have any problem with the snow getting up in there. I mean, you guys saw it was pretty caked, and I never had a problem. So, I don't know. I'll probably keep it in there just to play around with for a while, but I'll probably end up changing it out eventually. I think it's probably going to go into my son's monster truck Deadbolt, because he still has that stock ESC in the motor like I was showing, and I don't know how long that's going to last, and I already have this here, so I might as well toss it in there. And I have an MB100, and I'm going to have a motor soon because I'm swapping out for a brushless in another truck. So yeah, I'll probably end up swapping that out. But all in all, I mean, if it was sub 20, like when I bought it, I'd say it's not that bad of a deal. I just well, let me look at the price real quick. All right, the problem right now is that you can get the MB100 with a purple, you know, the Enduro purple that everyone calls it, for $34 or so. I think this right now is 24 if you get the pink, 26 if you get the black one. Honestly, for the extra little bit of money, I would probably go with this, unless you want to save a little bit of space. Then go, you know, you have this. But I think I would make it work size-wise if I can, and go with the setup. If this was starting to get under the $20 range, at that point I'm saving $14. Yeah, I would. I'd probably go with this. Like I said, it depends on what you're going for. If you're really going for rock crawling and smoothness, then no, I would just stay away from this. But if you're going for a trail truck, like I said, a kid's like STX24 that died, not a bad setup. And then if you pair it with the Mia's controller, I mean, look how small it is in there. And I put the battery there, of course, but like, you know, you can move the battery there, and this will be even thinner. This over here, you'll have, like, this barely clears, but then if you put the battery back here where it's supposed to be, you'll have plenty of room. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'll probably keep it in there just to play around with a little bit, but it'll probably end up in the son's truck. And I will put a purple Enduro motor with a MB100 in there, just because he just trails around and, you know, he's not really climbing much of those monster truck tires. Whereas I do like to, you know, toot around with them, and then also crawl a little bit with this. So yeah, that's my review for it. It's thumb sideways, I guess. It's not garbage and it's not great. So do with that what you will, I guess. Have you bought one of these? Did you like it? I'm curious if it worked out for you. Maybe it's just the setup, maybe, you know, with the heavier brass wheels, the aluminum links, the steel drive shafts and stuff. Maybe it's just a little too much weight for it. And maybe it'll do great in my son's monster truck or my daughter's if I need to, you know. So I don't know. I think that's it for this one. If you have any comments, suggestions, questions, throw them down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good day.